How many times do I have to repeat myself? I said I'm not going to do that. If you want to have a conversation that's a normal human conversation, I'm happy to do that. That's not what this is about.
This Ridley is sponsored by thingpenguin.com.
Hi. No, go ahead. I have a question for you here. I'm here for you, actually.
Yeah, no, I'm not going to do that.
So,
I'm willing to talk, but we don't need to do that.
Why should I vote? Why should I write in Joe Biden?
I just told you I'm not going to do this. I'm willing to have a conversation if we're going to have a human conversation, but not this.
It's human, but on the record. Trust but verify.
How many times do I have to repeat myself? I said I'm not going to do that. If you want to have a conversation that's a normal human conversation, I'm happy to do that. That's not what this is about. You know it. I know it. If you want to talk, we can talk, but I'm not doing that.
All right, sounded like talking to me. And you sure didn't talk me into anything. So he's complaining to her that some guy came up to him and wanted to film him, which is what happened. I have a question for you.
Sure.
Why should I vote for Nikki Haley?
Because she's the best candidate right now. She's honest, she has integrity, and she'll lead the country in the right direction without diversifying it. She's very civil, and she's also an accountant, which we need for the economy, and don't believe any of the lies about not securing the border. She is definitely going to secure the border. She's already said we'll send 25,000 border agents down there. We secure the border, it will affect the economy and it will affect the health of our nation.
Why should New Hampshire be governed by a president that's in Washington?
I think that's the way our country was founded. Simply put.
The Soviet Union was founded with Moscow governing far-flung regions that are now independent, and they're better off for it. Why couldn't we be?
We are an experimental society. We've got 400 years behind us. We are a new nation, relatively speaking, compared to the old nation. We are the experiment for the future of democracy, and that's why we are who we are as Americans. And we should all be united Americans. It's the United States, not the divided states that some of these candidates have made it.
It probably wasn't the question you were expecting, but I appreciate you engaging with it instead of just dismissing it.
Oh, never. No,
yeah.
No. Nikki Haley says, as I'll quote her, I give you the hard truths. She won't shirk away from any answer. You may not like them all. Nobody's going to like everything that everybody does. That person doesn't exist. But she's the person who wants to make America great for her family, your family, her husband, who's a military serviceman. And that's all. I mean, I can go on forever. She does a wonderful job.
All right. Thanks for your time. ridleyreport.com. It'll be a couple weeks before all these videos get on the air.
Okay.
But I won't. Anyway, that guy who was going to come out and tell me, what the filming restrictions were, did not. I was there for about another half hour. He never came out to tell me. But the idea is like, okay, so you have this concept of the election monitor or the human rights monitor, whatever you want to call it, the people who monitor the free and fair nature of elections. The UN sends people out to do that or whatnot. So my theory is it's good for individuals to do that, and one thing you can monitor pretty easily is whether or not they're letting you monitor, right? Like whether they're restricting filming or not in areas that you're allowed to be. It's a big deal that New Hampshire has this frigging thing called the ballot selfie law. You're not allowed to take a picture of your own F-bombing ballot. And in Winchester, they would stop me from running my camera as soon as I would get close to my own voting booth to cast my own vote. So that's not transparency. Anywhere that cameras are banned, that's where nefarious stuff tends to happen. Not always, but that tends to be the case. You work for the city?
I do.
A question for you. Can you name something you've done from your position to help reduce taxpayer expenditures?
Well, parking doesn't take tax money, for one. We are self-contained. So, there you go.
Well, you receive a taxpayer-funded salary, or do you not?
No.
So it's all just funded with fees?
It's all funded with what you put in the meter.
Okay, fair enough. I appreciate your answer.
You're welcome.
Take care.
Do you value your privacy? Want hardware that works? Get Linux at New Hampshire's very own thingpenguin.com.